traveling the Fiordland National Park region, there's often one key decision for travelers to make. Shall we visit Milford Sound or Doubtful Sound? In this video, you'll get my local insider tips. We talk about interesting alternatives and provide you with an overview on the Fiordland region. So let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about the Fiordland National Park. There are 14 fjords in this huge area. They stretch from Milford Sound in the north right down to Preservation Inlet in the south. Doubtful Sound is in the middle, kind of when you look on the map, it's west of Tianau village. The main access points for the Fiordland region is Tianau and Manapouri. Transfer options are also available from Queenstown. Note, there are no permanent settlements in the Fiordland region, so it's pretty much all wilderness. There's only one public access road into the region, which is Milford Sound Road. Now, what are the key differences between Milford Sound and Doubtful Sound? Let's talk about Milford Sound first. Due to the fact that Milford Sound has the only public road access, most travelers go there. Therefore, Milford Sound is much busier than any other location in the Fiordland National Park. Most visitors self-drive into Milford by rental car or motorhome, or they are going on a guided tour from Tianau or Queenstown. The Milford Sound Road is a very impressive drive with steep mountains, passing wild rivers and going through the impressive Hammer Tunnel. From Tianau it's about 2.5 hours drive one way. From Queenstown it's a full day. You need to calculate on 12 hours including the cruise. Also, there's a flight coach option available from Queenstown, but these are always subject to weather conditions. Now, the key advantage heading into Milford Sound is that travelers are able to stop along the way as long as there's car parking. Then do some local walks, breathe in the fresh air and take pictures along the way. I'll talk about hiking options along the Milford Sound Road later on in this video. For your information, sea kayaking is also available in Milford Sound and can be included into your day trip. Now, Doubtful Sound. It is a much more remote experience as there is no public road access. This place is regarded as the sound of silence, though there are many other fjords in the region which are at least as silent. More about that later. With Doubtful Sound, visitors have to join a guided tour from Lake Manapouri Wharf. First, crossing the lake with a fast boat onto the western side of the lake, which is called West Arm. A locally stationed passenger coach provides the 22-kilometer transport over Wilmot Pass on a private road into Doubtful Sound Pier. By the way, this road is the single most expensive road ever built in New Zealand in the 1960s. It's part of an underground power station project there. Now, Doubtful Sound is 3 times longer than Milford and has a sea surface which is roughly 10 times larger than Milford Sound. Now, when going into this trip on Doubtful Sound, you are not able to do local walks, and you're pretty much sitting on the coach or on the boats all day. Though the scenery is stunning and there are far less people around. Now, what do actually both fjords offer? So they do offer day tours, overnight cruises during the summer season. There are a number of operators running those, so find links in the description box below on those. During the winter season, which is actually the best time weather-wise to visit the Fiordland region, multi-day cruises are offered along the Fiordland coast as well as Stewart Island. The overnight cruises do include guided wildlife and kayaking tour options. All meals, bedding and transfers are provided. Kayaking experiences can either be done in Milford or Doubtful Sound. In Doubtful Sound, this is a standalone full day trip, so there are no cruises involved. There's a range of wildlife you can see, such as penguins, seals, dolphins in both fjords. You might have heard the region has a very high rainfall, but that does not mean that it rains every day, but it can really bucket down heavy rain. Milford Sound has an average 7 to 8 meters rain per annum. But the beauty with all the rainfall is the waterfalls are just spectacular, so it makes total sense, doesn't it? There are a number of local operators providing the cruises and the tours in the Milford and Doubtful Sound region. So let's name a few. There's Reel NZ, it's the largest operator for both fjords. There's Southern Discovery, they mainly operate in Milford Sound, and there's an operator, a smaller operator like Trips and Tramps. They're running day tours into Milford Sound with guided walks along the way or on the Milford track. The overnight cruises, again, there's a number of operators, Discovery, Real NZ, there's Southern Secret. I'll put all those details into the description box so you can check it out. Now let's talk about the activities along the way on the Milford Road. So when you're heading in there, you are able to do some walks, and some of the most famous walks are the Rootburn Track. You can go into the Hollyfoot Valley, you can do Lake Marion, you can do a side trip onto Key Summit. So there's a lot of hikes and walks you can do either when you go into Milford or coming out again. Once you're in Milford Sound, you can actually join a Milford Day track with a guided walk, which is phenomenal. I highly recommend that. Also, there are helicopter rides. You can fly into the pristine wilderness in the Fiordland National Park. It's just one of these magic experiences. For Doubtful Sound, the options are again with a helicopter or with a float plane. You can fly in and actually join the cruise on that day. As mentioned before, there's also the sea kayaking in Doubtful Sound, but this is an all-day affair with transport and there's no cruise involved. See a link again in the description box. Now here's a bit of an insider tip for you. You can actually fly into the other fjords around the coast like Dusky Sound or George Sound by helicopter or float plane. This is a much more remote experience into New Zealand's wilderness areas. If your time's short, we also recommend to do the Fiordland Historic Cruise on Lake Te Anau, based in Te Anau Village. It's a great option. Now a summary on how to decide between Milford Sound and Doubtful Sound. It very much comes back to your interests. If you're into hiking and walks, then you need to go for Milford Sound. If you want to enjoy the sound of silence with fewer people around you, then go for Doubtful Sound. If you decide to visit both, then you need to have 2 full days. This is obviously the best approach. I can recommend to stay in the village of Te Anau. It's a lovely place and it's the hiking capital of New Zealand. If you find this video helpful and you made it so far in the video, please hit the subscribe button below, thumbs up to stay connected for more helpful New Zealand insider travel tips. See you in the next video.